What's going on, YouTubers? My name is Robert Serrano Jr., natural born thriller. Welcome everyone to WWE NXT UK review with two episodes to give you or pertains to this review. The show from December 5th, 2018. NXT UK episode 13, again with um, the date from December 5th, 2018. And they first show the passing, basically they show a graphic video, a graphic photo for the passing of the Dynamite Kid. So basically, what I want to say pertains to the Dynamite Kid, you know. So yeah, unfortunately, the Dynamite Kid passed away, and Dynamite Kid was a big influence to a lot of other young wrestlers, even back in the days when he was around, like in the basically in the 90s. But yeah, Dynamite Kid one of the greatest wrestlers. He was an innovator, a pioneer, and there'll be he doesn't get talked about that much, because of his past, pertains to what's been going on outside of the ring. Dynamite Kid, wasn't wasn't a saint, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, there were times there were different opinions about him, but besides that, the Dynamite Kid, yeah, despite the demons that he's been battling and all that, and everything that he's been through, you know, he's been one of these influences in wrestling, especially the way that he carried himself, and the way that he you know he's done basically he's done in the UK scene and in Japan, especially his time in WWF. Team up with Davey Boy Smith, being known as the British Bulldogs. And then that whole type of deal. So Dynamite Kid was being acknowledged on from this episode, and from episode 14 for NXT UK, because Dynamite Kid is from the United Kingdom, and one of the greatest wrestlers to come out of the United Kingdom. Fortunately, passed away. Never got a chance to go into the WWE Hall of Fame when he was alive, which is ridiculous that WWE doesn't let these guys, these type of guys in before the time comes, especially for guys that are very decent and genuine in the wrestling business. So yeah, so rest in peace to the Dynamite Kid. I believe he was 60 years old when he passed away, because they said he was born in 1958, and we're in 2018, so yeah, I think he was 60 years old. So rest in peace to the Dynamite Kid, and that's all I gotta say for that. My prayers and condolences goes out to his families. Now, even though WWE acknowledged the Dynamite Kid's passing from this episode of NXT UK from episode 13 and 14, however, this show was actually taped a while back, so there was no way for Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness on commentary to acknowledge the passing of the Dynamite Kid, because he was alive during that time when they were doing the taping of this episode. So, but yeah, there you go. But yeah, let's get to this. So the show opened up with Joe Coffey coming out, along with his brother Mark Coffey and also with Wolfgang. And still to this day, they had not come up with a name for them until this promo that Joe Coffey cut, basically saying describing themselves being ruthless, devious, underhanded, and they don't mind being those type of things and what pertains to what they have done in the scenes of NXT UK. And it talks about that this is their kingdom, and basically also they came up with this one word that describes them, and it ends up being the name of the faction now. Because now they decided to go on the give them a faction's name, and they call themselves Gaullus. That's the how you pronounce their faction name, which is funny, because whenever when they said it, it's something they were trying to say goddess or goddess. I'll try to make out. I'll try to make out what they were saying, because they got a British accent, of course. So I'm trying to figure out what they were saying. What was their names, and then finally it was spelled out of the faction's name from the next episode, which I'll get to more that momentarily. But yeah, but it was it's GALLUS. So yeah, Gaullus is the name. So yeah, so that's basically Wolfgang getting the microphone from away from Joe Coffey and starts saying yeah. They're saying that we're Gaullus. He basically saying Joe's Gaullus, Mark's Gaullus, Wolfgang's Gaullus, and no one is Gaullus but us. We're Gaullus. They took the microphone away from basically Joe Mark Coffey took the microphone away from him, yes, and told him to calm down, and gets it back to his brother. And Joe Coffey gets back on the promo. I talk about the other faction called British Strong Style. And on commentary they announced that Pete Dunne wasn't there. He wasn't there for the next episode too. But yeah, basically when they described the whole thing with Joe Coffey, describing the fact that the British Strong Style had a stalemate with them, and basically the Gaullus sense fear in British Strong Style, and then also we get the return of the Kiwi Buzzsaw. Yeah, the Kiwi Buzzsaw. Travis Banks. He comes out and he goes after basically Joe Coffey dares him to get in the ring, and he tells Joe tells Mark and Wolfgang to step aside. So Travis Banks gets in there. He trusts them. He trusts Joe Coffey. I meant to say not them. Just Joe Coffey who made it. So basically Travis Banks was beating up on Joe Coffey. Also we get the rest of Gaullus going to beat him down. Then we get Mustache Mountain coming out to even the odds, and the face stands tall from there, because again Pete Dunne wasn't there, so it ends up being Travis Banks and Mustache Mountain going up against Gaullus, and that was the segment. I think to say about that. So yeah, that this one to keep them busy until Pete Dunne makes his return, whatever. I think it was during that time that Pete Dunne had some kind of injury that he needed to take time off or something like that. But then he came back months later after that. After seeing him but he wasn't 100% yet, but he came back though. But anyways, so also we get Ramsey. He interviews Fabian Aichner. He talks about how he's fought one, the best the best wrestlers on NXT, and he says now he wants to do the same thing for NXT UK, and Mark Andrews is one of those guys, so and that's what we're gonna get. So we'll get to that momentarily. Next we get another interview from Ramsey, and who interviews this time Jordan Devlin. He talks about how he pushed Pete Dunne to the limit, and talks about how Pete Dunne fears Jordan Devlin because he basically overtains to where Jordan Devlin almost beat him to end his longest title reign of being NXT UK champion. And he said he wants another opportunity of the title against Pete Dunne, and he's gonna work his way back up again to get the opportunity. And one of them is gonna be Flash Morgan Webster. So it's about he's one of those deck of cards, and you pull it out and it's a Joker, basically calling him a joke. And he says, Jordan Devlin on the other hand, when he puts a deck of cards out of it, and he gets an ace. That's what Jordan Devlin represents. And we'll get to more of that when we get to the main event. Mark Andrews versus Fabian Aichner. This match was the highlight match of the night. It was basically a show stealer. These guys were flying around the ring. They were basically going a lot of impact from moves, countering moves at the countering other moves. Fabian Aichner and Mark Andrews were killing in this match. Also, Fabian Aichner takes shows a little mean streak at the end of the match, trying to go for a count of victory. Basically, from there, he's now telegraphing himself as a heel to be reckoned with now. And in the end, Fabian Aichner ends up winning the match against Mark Andrews. So yeah, Fabian Aichner has won the match and he's a heel, which is good. That's good. That's good enough. That's good enough for me. But yeah, this match was incredible. This was my favorite match on the card so far. Retains to episode 13 for NXT UK. Then we get a video package of Isla Dawn, who's the witch. I don't remember on the full nickname of it. The witch. I can't remember it. I'll probably come up. But anyways, they show a video package of her and everything. And I love what she brings to the table. And she's basically it's a showcase for NXT UK for pertains to the women's division. So nothing to say about that. We get another interview. This time from Johnny Saint, the NXT UK general manager, and obviously the interview has been hosted by Ramsey once again. So basically talks about how there's so much going on NXT UK, and it talks about he's got a new assistant for his for pertains to having to have another authority figure, which is Sid Scarlett. If you remember, Sid Scarlett has suffered an injury, and based on what they're doing with him right now, with him being an assistant general manager, I'm assuming that injury may have been a concussion. It could be. I could be wrong, but whatever. Whatever the case may be. But anyways, yeah, this is going to be Sid Scarlett's role is going to be from now on until he is medically clear to compete. I'm assuming that's what's going on. He's probably having a concussion injury, so this is his role now, and it's something to keep him busy until he does come back. So also we get Rhea Ripley interrupting, and talks about how she's beating one of the best and all that. She basically ripped apart one of the best, and now she wants to show everyone that she's the best too, when pertains to her being the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. And talks about also to Johnny Saint that they don't think much of a high hope for your assistant. So yeah, and so Rhea Ripley is showing her mean streak, her mean side, and that I love it. Then we get to another match, a women's match. Nida, I meant to say, excuse me, Nida Samuels versus, I think the witch Scottish. I think that's what they call her. I'm assuming. I can't remember. No, I really can't remember, folks. I thought I could remember it, but now I can't. But Isla Dawn. Match itself, it was decent. That's all I'm gonna say from that. It was decent. But Isla Dawn isn't winning because it was all about her. Because of the real package they show about her. So it was her showcase And and Nia I mean not Nina, not Nina. I think that's how you pronounce her name, but yeah, she's there to be a jobber and all that, obviously. But she did good too in the match. But it was all about Isla Dawn getting a win here. Then we get to the NXT UK Women's Championship Finals highlights, where it pertains to Toni Storm versus Rhea Ripley. That match was good. And then they show where Toni Storm got suffered a serious injury in the match. I thought it was just her selling, but it turns out that she did get hurt in the match. She lost feelings of her hands at one point in the match because of her back. So yeah, Toni Storm really did get hurt in the match, but she still fought through it. And I think if that wouldn't have happened, I think Toni Storm would have won the match instead of Rhea Ripley. But you know what? Blessing in disguise, to say the least. So Rhea Ripley is who is winning the talent in the end. And then they show Toni Storm, she's being interviewed and she talks about her injury that she's suffered through. And she should come back, and she wants the opportunity to be NXT UK Women's Champion. We get to Tucker versus Eddie Dennis, and the match itself, Eddie Dennis wins the match, dominant faction, and that's to say about it. And Eddie Dennis is really good, and I gotta say, other than he's really good, especially with his size too, unbelievably good. And then the main event, we got Flash Morgan Webster versus Jordan Devlin. And in this match, Jordan Devlin was kicking his ass in this match. But then we have Flash or Morgan Webster getting some offense. But he kept getting cut off by Jordan Devlin in the match. So yeah, Jordan Devlin was kicking ass in this match, and he and this was the point that he was making when he was being interviewed by Ramsey, that Flash Morgan Webster is a joker from the deck of cards, and Jordan Devlin is the ace from the deck of cards. So he was proving that his point when he did that promo, and he was proving in this match, but also showed that Flash Morgan Webster wanted to show that he want to show Jordan Devlin that he's not a joker, that he can be one of those aces, and he was he's doing a lot of good selling in the match and showing a lot of psychology in the match too. So Jordan Devlin in the end ends up winning the match anyways against Flash Morgan Webster. And yeah, this was the main event match, and I thought it was decent. Main event match was decent. Nothing that I will go back to watch again, but it was decent. Talking about wrestling for WWE NXT UK from episode 4. And my overall rating for the show, for what pertains to NXT UK, the show from December 5th, 2018, 6.5 out of 10. There you go. And yeah, because of that one match between Fabian Aichner and Mark Andrews, I thought that match was pretty good. So I'm gonna go with 7. I'm gonna go with 7 instead. 7 out of 10. Now we get to episode 14 for WWE NXT UK from December 5th, 2018, and they opened up the show once again with a graphic of the passing of the Dynamite Kid. Once again, rest in peace to the late great Dynamite Kid. So we get the opening match, and we get Joseph Connors versus Dan Maloney. Match itself pretty decent. And I said this before for my last review for NXT UK, where it pertains to Joseph Connors. Michael Cole says that he's he sees main event potential in Joseph Connors. Excuse me. I still don't see it yet. Maybe as weeks goes by, every time whenever Joseph Connors does have a match, and he really shows me. And I still haven't got a chance to check out his other matches too, before coming to WWE. to be part of this of this division. But I will look into that. That's gonna be my homework. So, but yeah, Joseph Connors. He did. I thought like I said, he was pretty decent in the match against Dan Maloney, and Dan Maloney showed me something here too. But in the end, it was about to showcase to Joseph Connors, because again, because I guess NXT UK sees something in him. I kind of see something in him too, but again, I'm not completely sold on him yet. Again, I gotta watch his matches before his WWE coming to WWE, and obviously he started working for WWE since last year, when he was part of that UK tournament that started last year. So 2017 basically. So, which is gonna be almost 2 years now, because we're gonna be entering into a new year pretty soon. So, but yeah, Joseph Carnes wins. There you go. And also I love his entrance too. His jacket that he wore for his entrance. So yeah, he's got potential. I just need to invest it more of what he can bring to the table. But yeah, other than that, pertains to Joseph Connors, I'm expected to see more of what else he can do as a wrestler, and maybe he'll change my mind to see why Michael Cole said he is main event potential. So then we get Ramsey. He interviews Alice Dawn, and finally, folks, the nickname that they give her is the White Witch, because because her skin is so pale, like Paige, Ruby Riott, Sheamus, Jack Gallagher, or Jack Gallagher, how they say it. That's how they say it, but whatever. She's the White Witch of NXT UK. I would prefer just call her the Scottish Witch of NXT UK. It'll be more it'll be more fitting for her to be called the Scottish Witch instead of being called the White Witch, because it reminds me of what they call Sheamus, calling him the Great White, because of his pale skin. That kind of reminds me of. That's basically what they're doing with that with Isla Dawn, calling her the White Witch, like what they call like I said, with Sheamus being called the Great White. And some people thought at the time it was clever. I was like, no, it was dumb. I thought it was stupid. I like the Celtic Warrior better, but instead they decided to call him the Great White at the time. And now I'm feeling the same way with Isla Dawn here. They call her the White Witch. I would prefer that they would call her the Scottish Witch, because she is from Scotland. But whatever. But anyway, she was in the interview, and she's talking about how basically what pertains to her being the White Witch of NXT UK. She's good. She's honest. She's the truth. I mean she's true, and she's spirit, and she's basically she's that's all gonna lead her of her journey to becoming the NXT UK Women's Champion. Also, Rhea Ripley comes up to her and interrupts the interview, and basically let her know that she's not just basically not the right opponent for her for pertains to to be up in her league. And so it talks about how she has an opponent, and for her to watch very carefully. Basically, Rhea Ripley wants her to watch on what she's going to do to her opponent. We don't know who her opponent was until we get to it, and I'll get to it when we get to it. We see Mustache Mountain walking earlier on that day. They're getting ready to enter the building. All of a sudden they come across Gallus, Gallus, which is Wolfgang, and the Coffee Brothers, Joe and Mark. So Gallus shows up, and they basically they're about to fight outside. Also, we get officials, and then Sis Scarlett, the assistant general manager, and also we get the general manager himself, Johnny Sink, coming in to basically do a whole pull apart of this whole thing. So and there's no sign of Travis Banks anywhere. So I will get to more about this issue later on. It comes to its influences later on. But the basic transfer will happen earlier than the night. So earlier on that day. Next we get Wild Boar. Wild Boar, Mike Henson versus Dave Mastiff. He's known as also as the Bomber, Dave Mastiff. And we get this match, and the match itself I thought was pretty good. And they booked Mike Henchman very strong, more than they did with Tyson T-Bone, where it pertains to facing Dave Mastiff. And I see myself, wow, they really like this guy, and I don't know what T-Bone did to get destroyed on the way he did on last I seen when they was building those two up, T-Bone versus Mastiff, because Mastiff was kicking his ass in the match, and Tyson T-Bone basically made look like a chump. That's basically what they did. They made look like a chump against Dave Mastiff. But with Mike Henchman, Mike Henchman, they booked him very strong in this match. Giving him the upper hand on Dave Mastiff at one point, or twice in the match. But it was back and forth basically. But in the end, Dave Mastiff doesn't win the match at the end of the day. And it was pretty good match. Then we get to Ramsey interviewing Dave Mastiff after coming out of the gorilla position, and to spot how he feels great and all that. He's like don't underestimate Mike Henchman, man. He's very good, but Dave Mastiff was better, and he's showing once again that how he's better once again against any comers. And he said he's going to get his way over. He's on his way to the top. And as he's leaving this interview. All of a sudden we see Eddie Dennis coming out of a gorilla position. He was basically lurking, like what the hell. And by the way, folks, where pertains to Eddie Dennis, I kind of knew he was gonna be the next guy to face Dave Mastiff. It's not gonna happen yet, anytime soon, but they're gonna develop that even more. I think it's gonna happen when they do the UK takeover show, But we'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. But I love it. If that's what we're going for, Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis for takeover. Their version of takeover, which is gonna be in Blackpool, or I think Liverpool. I'm trying to remember which it was, but either way, I'm ready to see that match. Can't wait to see how that turns out. Next we get Tyson T-Bone versus Ligero. Match itself was pretty decent. Ligero ends up winning. Like I said before, Tyson T-Bone must have pissed someone off. He wasn't booked to be he wasn't booked to look like a Trump in this match. He had some good some good offers in the match, but now he's losing matches now. Either way, Ligero, I like Ligero, so it is what it is, and there you go. We see a video package of Rhea Ripley, how she ripped apart of her opponents, and then she's NXT UK Women's Champion. And then we get to Rhea Ripley coming out, and she talks about opportunities, and she got the opportunity to become the NXT UK Women's Champion, the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. And she introduced her opponent. She didn't say the name, but all of a sudden we see her opponent coming out, and she's known as Candy Kenny Floss. Don't know who she is, but I like the look of her though. She has pink hair. Half she has one of the type of designs, colors, blue, something like that, pink, in a way. And she had a light pop in there in her mouth. I guess she's about eating candy, and her name is Candy. So match itself between Rhea Ripley and Candy Floss. Candy Floss. So Rhea Ripley and Candy Floss was having it was decent, but it basically was to showcase Rhea Ripley how dominant she can be, and on top of that she's the NXT UK Women's Champion, and then she wins at the end of the day with the rib tie, which is the pump handle power bomb that she does, and gets the win. Hopefully we get to see more of Candy Floss. Candy Floss. I meant to say. Hopefully we get to see more Candy Floss, because they say she's 18 years old. She's she's a gangster and all that. I want to see more of her. So if we get more of her, that's good. Candy Floss, she look like she can go in the ring, but the problem is they couldn't showcase her that much because Rhea Ripley. After the match, Rhea Ripley pulls her over, only to kick her ass in the end. Basically adding more insult to injuries. And that was it. She took out of the ring and all that, and there we go. So Rhea Ripley is showcasing that she's a heel, and that she's the NXT UK Women's Champion, and she's a force to be reckoned with, and she's going to rip apart anyone else from the women's division of NXT. Then we get Flash Morgan Webster. He was being interviewed by these reporters. So it's about pertains to the tag team division with him and Mark Andrews. Also, he sees Fabian Aichner, and he walks up to Fabian Aichner and talks about how he didn't like what he did to Mark Andrews, where pertains from the match. And then Fabian Aichner says, if you want to do something about it, do something about it. So basically, something was done. It was a match that's going to be set up for those guys from the next episode of NXT UK. I'm assuming it's going to be episode 15 for that one. So we'll see. They said, obviously it is going to be so. I think one of the commentators said next week, that, and blah blah blah. So, also we get Sid Scarlett, who's there with the general manager of NXT UK, Johnny Saint. I was gonna say John Saint. No, it's Johnny Saint. But Sid Scarlett basically makes an announcement that it's going to be Trent Seven versus Joe Coffey in the match. Also, we're also an announcement to make about the NXT UK Tag Team Championship. To be I guess to be reviewed, I guess, or to be announced. Either way, we'll see where that turns out too. And finally, the main event, we get Wolfgang versus Travis Banks. Travis Banks is the Kiwi buzzsaw. Also, Wolfgang is being covered by the the Coffee Brothers. Basically on the what the factions call Godless. So they have the match, and match itself, I think it was short. I believe it was a 5-minute match, if I'm not mistaken. Because all of a sudden we get Mustache Mountain, because you get the the Coffee Brothers that try to get involved in the match, and in the end, Travis Banks gets to win after Trent Seven gets to host the leg of Wolfgang. From the weight of Travis Banks to crush Wolfgang, and the Wolfgang just pins him, pulls him up and all that. And and there you go. Basically, they got the one up on the Godless, and there's to say about it. And then again, I feel like the main event match was too short, and then it shortened from there because of that. So I don't know what to say after that, but hell, we're potentially in the next episode. They announced Joe Coffey versus Trent Seven. Basically more attention is building up where pertains to the basically one half of Mustache Mountain against one half of Godless, and also where pertains to the NXT Tag Team Championship. The NXT UK Tag Team Championship. I'm assuming they're going to talk about the reviewing of the belts, but either way, they're still going to mention about the tournament, and all we got to see now is who are the tag teams that are going to be in there. And as far as the NXT Women's Division, or the NXT UK Women's Division, I'm going to say, I guess what they're trying to do here right now, what pertains to Rhea Ripley, because Toni Storm was injured, and she's gonna be out for a little while, but she'll be back eventually. They're gonna have Isla Dawn to be the competition for Rhea Ripley, what pertains for going to the NXT UK Women's Championship. And Isla Dawn, she's pretty good. And again, what pertains to Isla Dawn, I kind of wish they could have just went with the Scottish witch instead of the white witch. Because again, I already explained that again, earlier already, but because of her pale skin, like what they did with Sheamus when they call him the Great White. I don't know, whatever. But and also what pertains to Joseph Connors too. I gotta see more of him as well. Not in WWE. I mean, if he's wrestled elsewhere, that could find out why they see him as a main event caliber in the UK division. And then let's see, anything else I need to cover up before oh yeah. I also can't wait to see what they do where pertains to Dave Mastiff and Eddie Dennis. Eddie Dennis, obviously, he's the tallest one of the division, and Dave Mastiff, he's one of those guys. These heavy hitters, and I can't wait to see this matchup. And I'm assuming what they're doing right now is that they're going to be doing some kind of build up for the first ever takeover show for NXT UK. And it was just say from there. So, but yeah, but Total Mile Wrestling for NXT UK for episode 14. I believe it was 4 matches. No, actually, I think it was 5 matches. Yeah, 5 matches. Let me just double check. Okay, yeah, just double checking. It's 5 matches. But yeah, and my overall story for the show for this episode for NXT UK episode again 14 from December 5th, 2018. I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 for this one. I can't go any higher than that one. I'm gonna go with 6 out of 10 for this one. So there you go. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr., Natural Born Driller. Please subscribe to me if you haven't done so right now. If you enjoy this review, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. The like or dislike button, whatever. Whichever you prefer. So that being said, I'll see you all soon from the next time I do NXT UK review for WWE. But for now, peace on the streets because I'm fucking tired. Just saying. Take care.